Hi and welcome. Today I'm doing a clutch on a 2007 Street Glide, so stick around. I'm going to show you what you got to do to get this job done. The clutch lives right here in this area, which has primary oil in it. So first we're going to do is get to the drain plug right here, drain the oil. And while we are waiting for this oil to drain, we're going to start removing this floorboard, which is this one is an aftermarket, but it's the same setup. You got two bolts and a nut right here in the front and in the back. We're going to take that off first, and then we're going to get off this part of a bracket so we can get that out of the way for us to get the primary cover off. 5/8 socket. Okay, this aftermarket floorboards are using OEM bolts, so you have two Allen heads like this that have a recess so you can tighten them up all the way, and a 7/16 nut. So you take those off. Now we're gonna get the two 1/2-inch bolts. So first is this 1/2-inch on the top. The older bikes used to have a nut in the back. This is a 2007, then it already has the nut welded on. We have another bolt that it's right here. So with the short extension, we should be able to get to that one. As you can see, here's the bolt. You can kind of leave it there. It's not gonna be a problem. You got these little black plastic toppers over the Allen heads. So we got all the toppers off. Now I'm going to start taking off all these bolts. I'm going to move some of this stuff out of the way because even though I have a drain pin under it, once you take this cover off, there'll be oil coming from other places where the drain won't reach. So just a good measure, move your tools and stuff out of the way. I'm gonna have to take this rear foot peg off because it's in my way. It's just the one bolt holding it. Kind of strange shape, these brackets. So I found easiest to use just the old-fashioned Allen. It's just sitting on a pin. It's got this pin right here. And we got the last bolt. Now I should be able to just take this cover off. You see there's more oil coming there. I'm trying to catch it, but you'll never catch it all. The shifter you don't have to move because you can slip it right from underneath. I'm gonna put this aside. So here we have our clutch. Now we gotta remove these 6 10mm bolts. Try to go a little bit of crisscross so you don't take one all the way out. Just kind of because you got this spring right here that's pushing. Take our spring off. And we'll start taking our clutch off. Just when you do it for the first time, you know, take it off and put it down like there in the order you took it out, so you don't get confused in putting it back together. But basically, you have a metal plates and friction plates. See, these metal plates are all burnt out. This clutch was slipping really badly. So you alternate metal and friction plate. But now we're gonna take a little skinny screwdriver or pick, and we're gonna take all of them out. A lot of times they kind of stuck together like this. You see I'm putting most of them out. I think that's it, they're all out. The last two things that are in there are these metal little spring plates. I want to show you something so you don't get worried about how this goes together. You see the the first one, it's flat, and the second one, it's dished. I don't know if you can see it, but this one is dished, so it kind of goes with the dish out. Okay, if you also kind of forget, or you get confused, you have a rub mark right here on this, where you see where this was sitting on each other like this. But that goes first because the um, first clutch plate is the friction plate, and it's skinnier than the rest. You see that? It goes in the middle of it, because then you have the next one will be your metal plate. You can kind of see where when it was slipping, but it was slipping only on the half of the plate because the other half doesn't have the friction plate. And the next friction plate is thicker. So let me show you next to each other. You see the difference? So the first one it's skinnier because it has these little metal. I think the anti-rattle or some, I don't know what they're supposed to do, but imagine they put like a little light pressure so the pack doesn't rattle in there. So now all the clutches are out. This is what it looks like without any clutches in there. What you want to inspect before you start putting new clutches in, right here, these ridges. See, there's all these ridges here. You want to make sure they are not like chewed up over here, because when bike has a lot of miles, these edges get kind of they get like these little lines, and you can run your finger, you feel it, and what that does, sometimes that makes the bike go hard to neutral when you're standing still and you want to go from like second gear to neutral, because the clutches are kind of hanging on these little lines. So what you can do is just take a little file, if you have these little lines, and you can just smooth it out. You got to go all the way around, and wherever you see these little lines, you will just smooth it out, and they'll help for the clutches to kind of slide easily when you release it. So that's a good tip when you have a bike with a lot of miles. This one is good. It doesn't have a whole lot of miles, and it's nice and smooth, so I don't have to do anything. We have the clutches sitting right here. These are the old ones. See, they just alternate like this, metal friction plates. These are all burned up. So I'm gonna get our new clutches and soak them in the oil. I'm gonna get a new oil, dump it in a clean container, and you gotta soak the clutches for at least, I would say, at least an hour. Just to show you real quick what I use to soak my clutches, it's an old oil bottle. I just cut it open, put my fresh oil in there, and I let them sit. So we're ready to start putting this back together. We're gonna first put our the two metal spacers I was telling you earlier. And now I'm just gonna be pulling the new clutches right out of this. I guess I could have cut the hole a little bit bigger. So first is the skinny one. I got another set of metal plates because the metal plates that were on the bike, they were really burnt. So I'm putting another set. I don't want to use those. And then little by little, we're gonna just alternate metal friction. Stand these up here. Make it easier to get them out of this. All right, there we go. It's gonna be dripping because these new clutches are soaked. Now we got our upper plate, then the spring. There's no Loctite needed on these screws because it's held by the pressure of the spring. All right, so that's it for this. We're gonna clean the surface and start putting the cover back on. Before I start here, I just want to show you there's only 2 lengths of bolts on this primary cover, the short ones and 4 long ones. The long ones go in the front where you can clearly see where the long ones bolt the outer cover and also the inner cover to the engine. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 long ones, and all the rest are the shorter ones. So you don't have to really worry about it. Next thing I want to talk about the gasket. Okay, every motorcycle shop, dealership, they will always charge you for the new gasket. At the dealer, it's very expensive. I think this gasket, it's more than $30. And I'll tell you something, the Harley went a long way in the gasket materials, and also this surface material got about twice as thick than they used to be. So you can reuse your original gasket. I never had one leak. So maybe there'll be comments saying that's wrong, whatever. Been doing it for a long time. I saved the customers money by you reusing these gaskets. I'm telling you, they never leak. So we got the original gasket. It's still stuck on the outer cover. You're not going to be wasting, $30 to $50, whatever, of customers' money. Just going to put this back on with this gasket. I guarantee it is not going to leak. Now we got the 4 long bolts. And the rest are all the short ones. There are always some that have the heads cleaner than the others. The bottom ones usually have the heads kind of dark. So I always try to put the nicer ones on top. Even though this guy has these plastic covers, but probably not going to put them back since they're all cracked and no good. He might want to buy himself a new set of these plastic covers, but these ones probably won't stay on anyway after they're taken off. They get all cracked and kind of half melted because they're plastic. I can show you here. See, you can see the cover. You can see it's all cracked and kind of melted. It's really junk. So I'm not going to put that back on. I'm going to use my impact, but only lightly, just to save time. I'm not even going to put any torque on it. It just saves a lot of time. Okay, so next thing, we're going to put our drain plug back in. Next, we're going to take this cover off so we can A, fill the primary back up, and B, we got to do some adjustment in the middle of that clutch, because now with the new clutch, since the other one was burned up, and actually if you stack it all together, the new clutch is more thick. So that means the adjustment is way off. I'm going to show you in a second. So we have adjustment right here in the middle. The reason why we need to adjust it, because all the thickness of the new clutch pack make this lever really loose, you see? Because what happens is, since you have good clutches now, this whole pack becomes thicker. So when this becomes thicker, this adjustment needs to be set up to take off the free play. You can also do it right here on the cable without doing it here, but I saw this adjustment being kind of way out, so I want to do it down here. Now we can take our Allen head, and I can take the free play. Basically what you want to do, you're going to move it until you start feeling resistance. Once you start feeling resistance, you took all that free play out, and you can tighten this back up. I want to show you up here on the handlebars. Okay, so I'm going to loosen it back up, right? So I loosen this back up, and you see all this free play. Look, I can put this clutch all the way back in and nothing happens. And I'm going to start tightening it up, and you're going to see this lever by itself going back up. So as soon as I hit down here, the resistance, I stop. And you see now, I don't have a free play. It feels good, you know, so I'm gonna stop right there, because if you overdo it, the clutch is gonna be slipping, even if it's brand new. Okay, you're gonna tighten this back up. Let the compression help us. All right, that's good. So now we gotta put new oil down and close it back up, put our floorboard, and we can call it done. Okay, so the last bit of oil is going in. And you can put the cover back on. Okay guys, again with this gasket here, look at the amount of surface that you have here. This gasket is going back exactly the same place it was. Your choice. You want to change them, go ahead. It's by the book, right thing to do, but in real life, you don't need to do it. It's not gonna leak. Okay, we're gonna do some cleaning up of this chrome cover before we put everything back on, because now we can get to everything easy. For this, I like to use the brake parts cleaner. It's just a Walmart basic brake parts cleaner, because this all this stuff is just covered with greasy fingerprints, me working on it. So later on I can clean it even more with some kind of chrome polish, but it helps a lot when you get all the grease off, so you don't just smudge it around later on. Okay, so we got it all back together. I got the floorboard, the rear foot peg back on. We got oil in it. Everything is adjusted, ready to go. So I hope this was helpful. This will save you a bunch of money. You can do this in your garage without a whole lot of complications. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.